If you can see over my shoulder, we were hit by the Saharan sandstorm. Absolutely covered, it's filthy. Anyway, we're not worrying about that in today's video. Today we're going to service the engine. That's right, just the engine today. Now, a lot of my viewers will have watched Sam's video where he serviced his Range Rover. He did the axles and the transfer case. I'm not doing that today. Just the engine. I'm not sure how many miles we've got. How many kilometres we got on this car now?
I have no idea.
This car is now on 136,000 kilometres. Off the top of my head, I don't know what that is in miles. I'll put it across the screen. When we bought this car, it was 124,000 kilometres. So we've not done that many. But it is overdue a service. Whether I keep referencing backwards and forwards to Sam's video, we're using the correct parts for the car.
Emotional, damn it!
No, he used the correct parts, but we use MANN-FILTER, which is the original fitment OEM parts that come on a Land Rover. And he did mention it in his video that it was either Marley or MANN. But yeah, so we've got the MANN parts. As I'm doing the bits, I'll tell you what the part numbers are. Because depends on what websites you go on. We use either Mr. Auto or Auto Doc. On Mr. Auto, there just seems to be so many choices of different sizes. So it's a minefield. But I use Auto Doc, which is another, well, it's in the UK as well, Auto Doc. You put in your registration number and it just comes up, and I've been through it and all the parts are the same size, apart from the brakes. Because on this car, the 2010, the very last of the 3.6 engine, it's the facelift, it's got the TFT dash in it. For 1 year only, Land Rover didn't fit Brembo brakes on their TDV8s. So 2006 up to 2009, whenever it was, Brembo brakes. 2010, non-Brembo brakes. 2011 onwards, Brembo brakes again. So yeah, that was our luck. So there is choices. Anyway, we're going to crack on, get under the bonnet and get some of these filters changed, and then we're going to have to get it up in the air and I'm going to drop the oil out. On Sam's video, he sucked the oil out because on the 4.4 it's got a tube next to the filler. We don't have that on this. I think you can suck the oil out through the dipstick tube, but I'm old school. If it's got a sump bung, I want to drop the oil out the bottom, see if any shit comes out. I think on the 4.4 it perhaps hasn't got a sump bung. He did say he had to take the pipe off to drain the oil. Now, years and years ago, the first car I ever came across with that was a Mercedes A-Class. There's a stupid engine in them. They sort of lay back and they're a right twat to get to the spark plugs. They didn't have a sump bung in it. You had to suck the oil out. Anyway, that's obviously become a bit of a common thing now. Just like Sam's setup, we're going to be rolling around on a gravel drive. As uncomfortable as you like, but let's get the job done. Air filter first. Screws don't come all the way out, they stay in the lid. I might take that right off actually. That's that, because that would be easy to get to the fuel filter. That was loose. So was that.
You've not looked at that before, have you?
No. Last time it was serviced, I suppose. Not looking too bad, the old, oh, what on earth? Well, to start with, this isn't sat in the car properly. That is down in the bottom.
What's that? A seal?
It goes there. So as you would have seen, the airbox wasn't clipped into the bottom. There's a seal, goes around the airbox to the inner wing. These weren't even in the rubber grommets. There was that stuffed in the top of the air, underneath the air filter. And this is the air filter. It is pretty minging. And it's not a genuine MANN filter. This is a, oh no, it is Land Rover. It says Land Rover on it. So it is a genuine Land Rover filter, but it doesn't say MANN on it anyway. This is the new one that's going to go in. It is the same size, but we're not going to put that in just yet. We're going to change this fuel filter while we've got easy access to it. So this fuel filter, this one's the same as on Sam's. Just slacken that locking ring and it should just drop down. He says yeah. Got to take this bit off the bottom.
Careful with that, that's expensive stuff.
I'll pop that in the tractor.
Costs a fortune, that does. Look, liquid gold.
Yeah, I know. It is at the minute. Be delicate with this, it's a bit of plastic in the bottom, so thanks. That should just unscrew now, but I'm going to do it no. It's a Land Rover WJ1500030, manufactured with a supply code. It's not actually branded MAN or MANN filter, but I do believe that's what it is. So the new filter, take that piece off the bottom. You'll notice there's a nice seal on the bottom of that. This one has got like a little sensor in it. So when you get a lot of water in it, it puts a light on in your dashboard. So this is a MANN WK8015. That piece comes up from underneath. Plug that bit back on. My arms don't bend that way.
What do you need?
That's alright, I just need to reposition. Right. That goes up on there like so. Right, try and get this airbox back in now. Bit of a twat getting all 3 grommets in, but I think they're in now. Now, the right twat of a job with that airbox. Whether it's because I wasn't taking the piss out of Sam, I was just having a little bit of friendly banter. Karma has struck back, and that is a right sod. So on Sam's, he's got the 4.4, he's got the 2 air filters. Quite straightforward. This one, there's 1 grommet down the bottom, 2 in the wing, and then there's like a big rubber seal that goes from the airbox to the inner wing. Getting all that back in place, then getting a filter in and the lid back on. Because I've only got the 1 air filter and 2 turbos, I've got 2 airflow sensors, or MAFs, whatever you want to call them, going into the airbox. Getting those pipes on was a bit tricky. It's all done now. So what I'm going to do is get the Hobbit to jump in it. We're going to put the ignition on. Without attempting to start it, we should hear the pump prime the fuel filter. Hopefully it doesn't leak, because if it does, we've got to take all this lot off again. That was also a twat as well. There you go. So, alright, ignition on then.
Okay.
I can hear diesel running.
I can hear it.
Right, switch the ignition off. Back on again. Right, just go to start it. Flip the throttle a couple of times. So that's all primed up, fired up lovely. We're going to change the cabin filter now. If you can pass me that big filter, please. Now, on these Range Rovers, the particle filter, cabin filter, they do a choice of 2. You can get either the carbon activated filter or the particle filter. The only difference between the 2, they both filter particles from the atmosphere. This one is carbon activated. So I'm not sure what's in this one. This is slightly more expensive, but the carbon activated eliminates odours coming into the cabin from outside. So if you're doing a lot of travelling in traffic, it stops exhaust fumes coming in. Here in the countryside, it will stop a lot of the shitty cow smells coming in. But so I can't reach it. I'm going to get the Hobbit to see if she can lean over and reach that, and we'll see what's in it. Now there is, on the new filter, there's an arrow which says airflow, so always put it up the right way. If you lift that flap up, please.
It is up.
Right, you see there's an arrow for the airflow, so we're going to have to put this one up the same way, so it's going to go back in that way. So if you can pull that out, please.
Right, can you hook that leaf with something?
I'll try.
Because otherwise I've got to come all the way over there. Right.
Which way was that? Airflow that way. Airflow that way. So put that one back in there. You'll have to. That's it. Hang on then. It's got to go in square. Pull your side out a little bit. Right. Yeah, and close it up.
Poke that in. Those two never were under.
So, as you can see, it already had a carbon activated filter in it. A lot of people would take this out and say, oh, that's really filthy, it needs changing. But the new one that went in was this colour as well, because it's carbon in it, and activated carbon, as I said previously. It is a bit dirty, it's got a lot of crap in there. This is also a genuine Land Rover part. The part number that I fitted is MAN, or MANN CUK 5366. Job done. Oil and filter next. Oh yeah, fuck.
Leave that bit out. Did it go with the little one in the end?
Yeah. Let me tighten that back up.
Only enough so that I can get it.
Yeah. Right. Jesus, that was tight. Typical busting Land Rover. It hits the cross member and goes everywhere. No, hang on. I'm gonna. Could you pass me that bit of rag, please? Thanks.
God, Jesus. I thought you said you slackened it off.
I did, but I had to nip it back up, so because we had to run it, didn't we?
So should this be the whole filter comes out?
Yeah, the plastic top will come off and you'll get like a cartridge filter comes up. So when that is loose, I'll give you this bit of rag. If you lift it out and put it onto this bit of rag, you'll not dribble oil all over the engine.
That is loose.
It's probably go quite a long way yet.
I can hear some stuff dripping.
Yeah, you see, as you take that out, the oil that's in
I
it.
can turn it with my hand now.
All right, the oil that's in it runs down to the bottom of the engine. That's why we do that while the sump bung's out.
Well, it's lifting.
Right, if you can put that next to it and then just lift it clean up.
I didn't press any buttons. It's alright, you can always put it back on. Careful, there's a seal on the loose there.
Yeah, that's what I want to change with the screwdriver. Is that in the screen?
Eh?
Is that in the picture?
Only just. I thought you said yes. I'll save these, I can use them again another time. on right?
Yeah.
On the tip.
It's got a nipple on the end. That's going to have to sit in something in the car. Then you know it's right.
Yeah, because that will now not turn. It's
Right.
gone in.
Okay.
Let me just make sure that it's definitely. Yeah, that's dropped into there.
It should push down a little bit because there's a bit of a rubber.
Yeah.
Right, so you'll have to just push that on and it'll click and then it'll tighten up if the threads are right.
Well, how can you push it down and it clicks and then
No.
the threads aren't right?
Well, if it's screwing up, it's all right.
It gets tight though. I'm always nervous of that, you know I am.
Well, don't forget how tight it was coming off.
I know. I don't like it when it.
Well, don't worry about it because
I can't see
I can
it.
tighten that up when I come back up.
All right, because then if it goes wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah, thanks for that.
It's all right. Was it going on right?
Yeah. So we're using ELF 530 fully synthetic 900 SXR. It meets all the specs required of this engine. Now going on the mileage, we was told it was serviced when we bought it. I've got the service record somewhere, but we've done pretty much 10,000 kilometres in 3 years. It's a bit naughty, isn't it? 3 years and I've not serviced the car, but we've only done 10,000 kilometres in 3 years, which 10,000, what's that, 6,500, something like that. There you go.
If only you'd known about that when you bought the car, we'd have known that we had a really good deal.
Yeah. Look at that, fresh oil going in.
Yeah, careful.
All of this one in, and then I'll put half of the other one in, and then we'll dip it.
Only just fits, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's gone right into the filling mouth.
Yeah, I
there.
know. Let's just look at it. It does only just fit.
Now the 3.6 litre engine has got a dipstick, so we're going to dip the oil.
Are there engines that don't have a dipstick?
Yeah, Sam's 4.4. It's
It's all computer readout.
yeah.
Oh. Trust that.
Can't see where the bloody thing is. It's there somewhere. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Bit more.
How much is in the plug then?
4.5.
Much more economical. Much better engine.
How can you say a Panda engine's much better than this?
Easy. Easy.
I've probably overdone it now. No, that should be, how much? That's 5 litres says. 4. Oh, that's 9 litres we've put in. I'll just let it settle to the bottom and we'll dip it again. It's on the maximum, but we're going to just run it up. Just shut the door.
Let it through.
Switch it off. Bang on! And then see if the other side does the same, please.
Yeah, it's on.
Right. Sounds quite nice. Come on then! Right, sit down. Now it does sound a little bit different, but that could be that there's not that bloody bit of rag stuffed in the airbox. Just go steady for a start. We don't like to thrash it, do we? When it's cold. Well, it's not cold, but now the air filter was pretty dirty. I can't tell the state of the fuel filter, but who's to know? Feels quite smooth so far. We'll only know when we get out on the open road. Dogs with me, they always like to come for a little drive. Oh, actually, that does feel a little bit, it's got a little bit more pep to it. We'll go nice and steady, but when we turn around, I'll get my toe down coming back. It does feel like it's got a little bit more oomph. A bit blowy out there. Oh shit. I keep forgetting. Speed limit. It's so easy to go fast in this, not fast, but it's so easy to go too fast for the speed limit in this car because it's so smooth. It just really is. It's incredible. And the power it's got. A few motorbikes out today, so there's obviously good weather for it. Do I miss motorbiking? Yes and no. But yeah, I'll be quite happy when we've got this, you know, now we've done this little job. Peace of mind, all the filters are changed, you know where you are. As I say, we've only done 10,000 miles in 3 years. 10,000 kilometres even, so it's not even miles, is it? Let me just get a bit of aircon on for the mutts. Right, let's give it a bootful. Get round this corner. Nice. Shit. Flawless.
Flawless victory.
As they used to say in Mortal Kombat. we're in sports. Fucking hell. Oh, shit. Put it back into Derby and Joan gears. And it always did have a little bit of power. I mean, it has been remapped. It's supposed to be about 310 horsepower now. 700 newton meters of torque. So this is sort of in the ballpark of where the 4.4 Range Rover is. But say we don't drive it hard. Derby and Joan it, especially now the price of fuel. We use the car as little as possible, but from the last time I drove it to just now, there is a big improvement. So will we be servicing it every year? That depends a lot on the mileage. 3.6 TDV8 engine serviced. It's a little bit of a twat, but a lot of that is down to me being in the wheelchair. When I get on that extended seat and my arms don't bend, they're sort of resting on the slam panel and they don't bend down. Nobody's arms bend at that point, do they? Just makes it a little bit awkward, but it's done. With a bit of help from the Hobbit. Service interval reset using the gap tool. I've got another video coming along with a gap tool shortly, but today we're all serviced up and it does seem to drive a little bit better. Whether that's psychological, who knows, but yeah, hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.